Check 1 2. Hello, good day, everybody. My name is Todd Standing, and this is my live show. I'm the man who takes people into the field and has them either live interact with or eyewitness a Sasquatch. I am just getting here by the skin of my teeth. I just traveled hundreds of miles to get out here and do the show, and I just made it. So very happy to be here. Let's see here. So I'm gonna do questions and stuff. So I've been doing expeditions this year. Very on the fence. Hi, Lori. Who's your Sasquatch? Hey, hello. About the last expedition because we had some potentially great success. But anyways, if you saw my Sunday video, some of the questions I'd like to answer, watch the Sunday video, but just a quick little, hey, Amanda, thanks for mediating tonight again. You're awesome. So had expeditioners out. They saw a black object that they thought was a stump because it wasn't moving as we were coming up this crazy mountain trail. I'm killing everybody on this expedition because it's a brutal hike. But these two expeditioners are just doing amazing, fantastic work. And then they get up to the spot where the big black thing was. Looked like a knelt down sort of round Sasquatch, and it was gone. And people are saying, well, it could have been a bear. No, it wasn't a bear. Both these gentlemen know what a bear looks like. Stefan is probably one of my most successful expeditioners of all time. He's seen a Sasquatch on the two previous expeditions he's been on. This was his third week out with me. His skills are significant. I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, he's a really smart man. His skills are really high. His tracking skills are really growing and evolving in a very brilliant way. He knows what a bear looks like. He knows it was either a big black stump that was the shape of a Sasquatch or it was a Sasquatch. Both of these expeditioners agree to that. I trusted Stefan after he looked at it and James looked at it, and then Stefan looked at it again and it didn't move. Stefan stared at it for 30 seconds. No bear will sit there while human beings are maybe I'd say maybe 800 yards away, and we're moving around. We weren't being silent. We came out of the bush, and we were obvious to anything, and a bear wouldn't have stayed there. A moose wouldn't have done that, and they don't stay stationary, frozen. So there's more evidence than that happened, but just so people know, don't say it was a bear or a moose or any kind of animal. It wasn't. It was. I don't have any explanation. I think it was very likely a Sasquatch, but there's a lot going on when you're out there. It's hard for me to. My number one priority on expedition is to keep my expeditioners immensely safe, and it was a dangerous spot, and I was really watching for Sasquatch activity, and watching for bears and mountain lions, and keeping an eye on the animals and the terrain, and making sure that everything looked really safe. So. But it was just a fantastic expedition, and I'd love to answer your questions today, guys. I want some hard, tough questions. Guns to Guns says, hey, Todd, Greg from Indiana. Do the Sasquatch have canines like dog or teeth like ours? Teeth like ours. But I mean, how many times have I seen Sasquatch teeth? Not very often. I'll tell you, so in the most significant look at a Sasquatch teeth I ever had was... many of you know the encounter when a bear was charging at me, and before the bear was charging at me, Jake was trying to illuminate me. Jake, the enormous Sasquatch from Radium that I have video 5 footage is Jake. He was trying to tell me to turn around. He was making gestures, and he had, like, his teeth, I could see them. I remember that the front two were really square because I filmed it. I was filming it with the camera before the bear attacked me, and I fell in the water and dropped my camera into the flowing water and wrecked it. Hey, Kyle! How's it going, Kyle? Thanks for tuning in. But anyways, his lip was kind of up a little bit. And like sort of like that. Yeah, it was kind of like that. So, and he'd go... So maybe not that high. So let's try it again. So his lips are low, just like Geronimo and the old native people with the rounded face. So his lips are low, and when he would do that, he would go, but it would never break the plane to smile. It was like they were low and they came up low, and that's the way it would look. So his mouth looks low, you go, That's what it looked like, except I can't get the teeth. So, anyways, I feel like kind of a dumbass, but anyway. Um, yeah, so I did have a look. I don't remember them being canines. I just remember seeing these four front teeth here. Maybe his lip came down weird. His lip had a shape to it, like it was really a lot. His teeth looked so small compared to his head. And all that means is his teeth were probably twice the size of a human. Because Jake's head, in case you don't know, after I measured my head in comparison, I mean, literally Jake's head is like that big. So if his teeth look, his head is, even kind of, yeah, so go like this. So yeah, his head's about that big. So since his head is about 3 times as large as mine, his teeth, if they're twice as big, will still look small. So anyways, that's my prediction with that. When's the next documentary, Todd? I have all these documentaries. Everything's sitting around. TV shows are chasing me. I am one man, and you notice at the end of a movie where they have all those credits that roll with all those people, that is a lot of work. It's a tremendous amount of work. I write, direct, produce, edit, and it's a lot. It takes me a very long time, and I got a lot going on. There should be a really cool video tomorrow that explains a lot that's been going on in my life, and it should be pretty cool as long as I can manage it. So Throwback Thursday can be a very special video tomorrow, I think. So Royal Creations, a man that has given me lots of good advice. Yo, bro, Roy Clark from Michigan here. Hey, Amanda and Phil. Oh, he's just saying hi from Royal Creations. So his name is Roy Clark with K. Cool. Love the photo of the Sasquatch reaching for the apple. Amazing. Isn't that? It's not. Well, it's not a photo. Is that a photo? Are you talking about? I didn't even call that a video, did I? I have like video. Anyways, yeah, there's a Sasquatch that reaches up and grabs the apple when I'm interacting with a different Sasquatch. So, yeah, It's funny when you've experienced that stuff, how it's kind of hard to separate yourself from the moment of, the extreme events that were going on. It's kind of like you go into shock, into like a state of mental hypothermia, and when you know what you had to do, you know that you took time off work, you spent a fortune to get out there, you failed 15 times. This is your day, this is your time, this is your moment, and it's stand up and be brave and move forward, or go do something else for a living. You know what I mean? And believe me, it's a hell of a road. Ask any expeditioner. The number one thing my expeditioners will tell you is these expeditions are brutal. They are suffering. They're agony. You will bleed. You will suffer. You will feel pain. I guarantee it. And and people just want to get out here and do it. And it's a tremendous learning lesson for me. There's a point where I took these guys. We had to go a different route to get up the mountain, so we went past these hard creeks, and it's glacier water. It's slippery, and if you fall in it, you could be seriously hurt or die. And after I get these guys across the second creek, I felt like quitting, because I don't like punishing people like that. I don't like seeing people suffer. What does Stefan and James do? They smile and go, "This is the time of my life. I love this beautiful water. I love these beautiful rivers. I love these gorgeous mountains. I love being out here with Todd Standing and looking for Sasquatch and seeing all these tracks and signs and everything that's going on. I'm excited. I want to go to where Survivor Man was up on the mountain and had his live interaction and film the top of the head of a Sasquatch." So it pains me to put good people I care about through that, but that's what they want. That's what they do. And they should go home proud. I'm proud to be a human being that is the same species of what Stefan and James did. Do you understand? Those guys are tough, and it was amazing. And yeah, so it's a crazy, crazy life. Amanda says all new footage will be featured in upcoming documentaries, so sign up for the newsletter to find. It's true, sign up for the newsletter, because I will be releasing all that information. And I need to go kick ass, but believe me, when it comes time to, I will kick ass. I will get stuff done. There's things happening. I know the power of cooperation. There are people coming to help me get things done. So, and I'm ready. So, and the distributor's been screaming at me to get a new movie for a year and a half, 2 years. Oh yeah, they've been just begging me, and anything. It's been a hard couple years for me. personally, but I'm still getting what needs to be done. I'm still out there. I'm still fighting for this discovery. I do have new footage, and yeah. Do you know about how many children the average Sasquatch has? Oh my God, Stephen, I wouldn't even want to hang. Well, I mean, okay, let's talk about that, I guess, because it's a tough question. What am I supposed to do? Say no? I want tough questions. I would really compare them to gorillas and human beings. I don't think a female can really, she's gonna go through menopause probably at even a wild being like a Sasquatch. She could probably start producing offspring, at adulthood, hopefully around, not before 16, maybe at 18. So 18, and I wouldn't say much past 35. That would be late because they're wild and the wilderness is harsh. Winters are brutal, and it is survival of the fittest. So we got, let's say, between 18 to 35, so that's 2, 7, 10, 17 years. I wouldn't think they could have, 17 years, let's say 16 years of breeding time for a female, and let's say she could have one. I think she could easily probably have one like done breastfeeding at 3. So maybe 5 per female Sasquatch. I think that's a very fair number. So every female Sasquatch could potentially breed off about 5 children. What a good question. I'm so glad that you guys asked these and push. Don't ever let me shy away from these questions. And I think that's going to be a very valid answer. If we do it so it's simplified, 15 years of breeding time for a female Sasquatch, and every 3 years she can produce an offspring viably. Just even because you have to understand, a 3-year-old is really like 2 children are usually done breastfeeding. Maybe they'll go to 3. That's kind of long term. And when you're breastfeeding, human females and gorillas are not able to ovulate because they'll just push it out, right? Because it's not. It's just the body is. Nature is amazing. The body is amazing. That's one thing I tell you guys. What our bodies go through and the things that we can do with our bodies is totally, absolutely stunning. The Iceman training, the brutal suffering, the balance, the connectivity to nature, the sensory perceptions are just absolutely astounding, ladies and gentlemen. And that is what's so amazing about my expeditions, and why I am so passionate, not all about Sasquatch, but about nature first. Nature is first to me. I just adore nature. I adore the animals, and you'll see that in my movie. You'll see that in Survivor Man. You'll see that in John Benernagel. You'll see that in Jeff Meldrum. You'll see that in my expeditioners, and it's absolutely wonderful. Walker Bear, have you ever seen a Gajwa or any other different? I don't know what a Gajwa is. No idea what that is. Christy Martin, hello Todd. I love your documentary. Are you planning? Whoa, things are bouncing here. I didn't get to see the rest of that. Where was Christina? This little thing likes to bounce around with all these new comments. There she is. Are you planning to make another document? Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, there's two documentaries that I could make if I could just sit down and have a crew and work on them. Especially after this year, there might be a TV show coming. So I'm in the works with that. COVID has really slowed things down, but it's made some big changes in my work. I'd like to go. I'm very likely going to Florida in a few, maybe 5 or 6 weeks. I went to Alabama. I went to New York State. I always want to go to Washington State to Larry and Analia. Incredible, amazing people. My God, if you know who they are, just incredible. Man, I wish I could promote them and talk about them, and because they're just, I know they mentor and they do things, but their mentorship is more along the lines of a very spiritual thing, and Analia writes really impressive books, and Larry these are deeply spiritual people that are on a deeply spiritual journey to do with nature and the complexities of the world, and I find a lot of what they do offensive, and I love it, because if you're not pushing my paradigms, then I don't really want you in my circle. People that are in my circle push me and want betterment and have great ideas, and yeah, that's what I have to say about it. So Do groups have more than one breeding female? Oh my God, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't even think it would be a group. It'd be a couple if you just had a male and a female, right? Or two males and a female. It'd be a threesome. Three males and one female would be a foursome, and then anything beyond that, I suppose you could say would be a group. But there's so much I need to learn, and remember, a lot of this is just me speculating based on my observations, right? These are my theories based on my observations. This is the best that I can give you. None of this is that's the way. I don't do that. I don't do that's the way it is. This is how it is. Have a good day. And I create a theory or a hypothesis, and I just build off of that, and I'm ready to throw it away when new information comes, right? That's how that's how we evolve and become better at everything. Nora Chavez, thank you so much, Nora. Are you a regular on here, Nora? Thank you so much for your donation. The donation really helps, guys. Um, so it really makes a difference if you're passionate and you love this discovery. I'm a full-time Sasquatch researcher. That's what I am. Sometimes I get called a director, a writer, a producer because I do Bigfoot documentaries. Period. I started to learn to direct and write and produce and use computers and edit software and do sound for Bigfoot, for the discovery of Bigfoot. That's why I do it. That's it. So there may be a day where I get to do a documentary about wolves or bighorn sheep or tracking, but that's all to do with wilderness, and so I'll do wilderness documentaries. But I think first and foremost has to be Sasquatch, because there are great men and women out there filming grizzly bears and bighorn sheep, and they're biologists that are working on that stuff. I think those areas are covered. It's not for Sasquatch, is it? It's not getting done. It's not being covered. The research isn't happening, and that's why I focus my talents here. It's not because the Sasquatch are my favorite species. I think they're an incredible species. Um, Maybe they are one of my favorite. I mean, I admire them so much. I think they're absolutely spectacular. But I'm here doing this first. If I went and did a documentary on wolves, which I do have the potential to do that, to go up and do the northern wolves that hunt the caribou. That would be great. I would love to do that. But and I would do that just to monetarily get better equipment to film Sasquatch and learn more techniques to film Sasquatch and do Sasquatch stuff. And I would love that too. I love the wolves. Man, I love the wolves. They're an incredible species. I'm a dog guy, right? You'll hear once in a while my nice Roddy running around behind me. I mean, and if you're on my Instagram page or on Facebook, you see my beautiful Roddy. I'm a really, really huge dog person. I love dogs. So thank you so much, Nora Chavez. Heartfelt gratitude for your donation. I really appreciate it. So what else we got here? Rockfit. If they're so advanced, why don't they bath so they don't smell up the forest? Well, Rockfit, they don't smell up the forest. I can think of, gosh, less than, out of all the interactions and all the sightings I've been involved with, and there's a lot, more than 100 probably. I don't have them written down. I used to write them down. People would break into my house and steal my stuff, steal my footage, steal my computers, and people stole my notes and stuff, which really pissed me off. Sorry, Amanda, but it really did. It was extremely frustrating. All my hard drives are getting taken. There's footage that, like the boulder coming down the mountain. I don't have that anymore. The log being thrown at me. There's more to that. There's the beginning and end. I just had a cut of it that was in that was used in segments of movies and stuff. I don't have the raw footage for that anymore. There's raw Sasquatch footage that I had that, not the best stuff, but there was other things that I'd like to go over and use that was all stolen from me. And I had things stolen year after year after year. Nothing's been stolen from me since a couple of new colleagues came on board and started helping me out. But nothing's been stolen in, I think, about 4 or 5 years. So, but now if it does get stolen, it doesn't matter because I have backups in safety deposit box. So, well, it still would matter though. It would really piss me off. I would lose stuff. You never have all your backups ready. So, yeah, that's cool. So your answer, Rockfit, anyways, that was a long answer, is they don't smell at the forest. Most of the time they don't smell. If they ever smell, it's because they're in a very stressful situation and they want you to know that they're upset. It's a traumatic, upset moment for them. Gorillas do that. Gorillas don't. Well, gorillas do have an odor to them. I think Sasquatch are cleaner than gorillas and most animals. I think most of the time, I know most of the time, they don't smell and they don't stink up the forest. So Hello 78 Sound, so John Trent, Amanda, one of the release dates. Like I said, guys, just watch the beginning of this. The release dates are just when I can get it done. As soon as I get it done, I hand it in and it's distributed. I'm telling you, like Discovering Bigfoot Part 1, it was the number one documentary of all time on Netflix in 2018 and 2019. That's when now it's on for 2020, 21, it's on Amazon Prime. I'm not aware of those stats on Amazon Prime. I mean, it premiered on pay-per-view, then it went to Netflix. It'll go on the Warner Brothers network of television shows after that. So, um, yeah, I'd love to get that part two done. So it's really understand too that it's really not. I lost money as a business on part one, right? So it was just a huge money loss, but I was really happy it got out there. And I just don't understand how people are so down, like Discovery Channel. I had Discovering Bigfoot finished, and Discovery Channel, History Channel, National Geographic Channel. They do all these little kooky shows about Bigfoot. Animal Planet did Finding Bigfoot, and I don't mean to be an ass, but mine was just far superior. It was immensely superior. It had real Sasquatch footage. They never got Sasquatch footage on Finding Bigfoot in 7 freaking seasons. I had real Sasquatch footage. I showed a PhD. I mean, you saw the movie. It was amazing, comparatively speaking, relative to what's out there. You can't argue. It's very, very impressive. They wouldn't give me the time of day. They told me it was an embarrassment, and I kind of felt that way. I thought, well, man, these experts know, because I made the film all by myself. So maybe it is bad. I didn't see what their problem was. I thought it was very Survivor Man style, and I thought it was better than most stuff out there. Then it played on Netflix. People are raving about it. Netflix couldn't believe how amazing it was. They loved it. And now I go to Discovery Channel. What the hell, you jerks? You made me feel like an ass. It made me feel like my production was garbage, and now it's the greatest documentary in the history of television, because you understand Netflix is the biggest network of all time. So when my documentary played on the biggest network of all time and got the biggest viewership of all time, I smoked anything Discovery Channel, National Geographic Channel, History Channel, any channel. Smoked anything that anybody had ever done. And you know what they're doing now? Shmee. Go do another one and we'll work it out. I can't even. So I don't want to complain. I'm really happy with the expeditions, the support that I get from people. Look at these donations from these people. I have to go through this, and thank you so much, guys. That's awesome. If you want to make a donation, you can also do it where I'm fully compensated, because a lot of this money goes to YouTube. More than half goes to YouTube. So if you make a donation through my website, discoveringbigfoot.org, I'll make sure. And you guys, with these donations, you gotta send me an email on discoveringbigfoot.org, and even send an email to Amanda, and I could give you guys some downloads. I have some pretty cool stuff that I give to people who make donations. So I can't talk about it because it's secret stuff, but I give stuff to people that's some of my best work I'm really proud of. Ben says, "Come on, Todd. Sasquatch grabbed me in Virginia. No bears. They disappear because they beam up. Why haven't you understood that yet?" Oof, yeah, I don't do beam up. I don't do alien stuff. So respect to what you're saying happened to you. If Sasquatch grabbed you, that's cool. I don't know why you would say no bears. If something grabs you, it's not a bear, it's a Sasquatch. They disappear because they beam up. I'm going to disagree with that quite strongly. I've never seen any evidence in any way to substantiate that. And I don't understand that, because I've never seen anything in any way, shape, or form that makes them interdimensional teleporters, space explorers, nothing like that. This is an indigenous species that is just incredible and amazing at what they do. And there's nothing even magic about what they are. They're just amazing. That's all. They're incredible. They're amazing. They're fantastic. They're brilliant. They're genius. They're evolved. And people take nature for granted. Bats grab mosquitoes out of the air with radar. Beavers eat wood. Like, animals find a way. If you saw just what a deer and an elk do to survive, they're incredible survivors. They're amazing animals. This is a harsh, brutal country out here. And if they didn't have predators, they'd breed like rabbits and be out of control. So these species are amazing. So Karen, absolutely a bad idea situation. Put your gun away. They only want to communicate. Kyle's a very, very good student / colleague of mine, and I don't know what he's responding to, but I would take his word for it. I appreciate everything that you do. Thank you, Todd. You're welcome, John. And I appreciate your coming on here and supporting me like this. What angers you most about the skeptics? Nothing. Nothing. They can be jealous. They can get angry. What angers me about them is nothing. I don't focus on. I actually there's some really good skeptical questions that I appreciate when they're you know what I don't like is you're not a skeptic when you're hating and you're swearing and you're bad mouthing. If you know to say something like that jerk is got stupid glasses and he's got an ugly hat and I can't stand the way he talks. Well, there's no constructive criticism there. That's not a skeptical perspective. Someone says, you know, I think that your Sasquatch foot isn't real and I need more evidence. Well, I go get more evidence. And I'm sorry you don't think it's real. It is real. There's just a lot for really good constructive criticism from skeptics. And if they're angry and hostile, that's not skeptics. That's just hatred. And I disregard it. I'm very happy to disregard it because it's meaningless. How can I focus on any kind of negativity when I have so much positivity? Look at you people. You guys are amazing. I have 184 viewers on here right now live. 184 viewers. And this video will generate from 5 to 10,000 views. 5 to 10,000. That's like a small town of people. Just wonderful, amazing people that will enjoy this content and appreciate these questions that you guys are giving me. And I'm going to focus on that every time. Every single time. Hell, I had, my viewership is down because I've been gone so much. If I don't keep up consistency, obviously my viewership decreases, which is really not cool. But I'll get back to it and I'll do more in the wintertime. But I'm focused on being out and getting stuff done. I can't be here, but I've had some of these live shows get 50,000 views. That's amazing. So it's stunning, amazing. I'm so grateful for that. Why do those people call Bigfoot Squatch? Well, Sasquatch is the respectful term. I prefer Sasquatch, but yeah, it's just a shortened term of it. I'm sure people don't mean any harm, but it is disrespectful to the native people. So out there, have Sasquatch ever given you recognition that they see you? Facial, arms, whatever. Out there, have Sasquatch ever given you recognition that they see you? That's a tough. Yeah, a little bit. Sure. I talk about sometimes when I come and I get out of my truck, I hear hey, hey in radium, right? So that's pretty cool. And that was witnessed by a member of Survivor Man's crew, which was really cool. And it doesn't happen a lot. I'd say like 1 in 10 times they get pretty excited. But yeah, facial, arms, no. Just sounds. I've never seen a Sasquatch come up and go, woo, you're here, right? That would be nice. But you know what? Sometimes though, this might sound strange, but when I can hear them, the boom, 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 that's really cool. And I get a feeling of excitement, like I'm gonna give them apples. That happened a lot in Nordegg, and or even I'll go hardcore backcountry into radium, like over into another section of the mountains, where they're a little more homey, and I can feel like rocks and boulders and logs thrown at you are very negative, and the growling is being very adversarial, and the boom 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 and I don't know, just the running past, and the energy feels really positive. It's hard to explain, and a lot of times I can feel profoundly like I'm being watched by a Sasquatch, and I've learned to really relax and just be at peace with that. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. First time hey, Tarsik, I'm glad this is the first time you're on here. Sarah, keep up the good work, Todd, the only one who cares. No, don't say that, Sandra. I appreciate your comment. There's a lot of people that care. I think 195 people live right now. Come on, there's a lot of people that care. I wouldn't do this show. I wouldn't go public if people didn't care, and people care. So a still from California Bigfoot of Sasquatch had reached up for the apples. A still from California Bigfoot. Oh yeah, there is that, right? You're right. And you know what's funny, Amanda, is that's a live video. You guys want to know something crazy? I can't find the damn original video. So I found the stills that I pulled off it. I can't find the damn video. So I really need to find that, because that's going to be a huge problem. But you got to understand, like I have like 20 hard drives and it's so much work. I'm scared. The camera wasn't malfunctioning. What happened was, like with anybody, you get full. Your camera gets full. You're recording, you're recording, you're recording, you're recording. You keep recording, and eventually you get full. And the Sasquatch were around, so I was deleting files and starting new files and deleting files. So it was really hard, and it's frustrating because there's a Sasquatch around. You got to look at a file that you don't want. You got to find a file that you can delete and go delete that one, and hopefully it doesn't have any good footage in it, because you need to open up space on your card. The reality, guys, the reality of of being boots on the ground doing this, the batteries burning out, the footage running out, weather wrecking your camera, equipment failures, it's so much. People just think, I'm telling you guys, nothing works smoothly. You ever have, like, you have your phone and it's something really important and your phone works great, and suddenly you need something really important and your phone doesn't work, or it works slow and you're like, I need this now, That seems to happen quite a bit to me. And this has nothing to do with Bigfoot, obviously, but when I'm out in the field and I have those emergency moments, about half the time, it's like my equipment is just going too slow, it's not working. And maybe it's just me. I'm not saying that Sasquatch are messing with my equipment. In fact, I'm not saying that at all. I have no evidence to substantiate that personally. But it's probably just me freaking out because, you're in the moment, you want the darn thing to work and it's not recording. Or you hit the record button frantically and it's 2-3 times and it doesn't work because you did that. If you just would have calmly pushed it. So that's one thing that is really important with doing this is being, having some serenity and that sort of thing. So Rockfit asked me if you're married. I don't really talk about that personal stuff, Rockfit. We're here to talk about Sasquatch. So you say, the next thing you say, am I wasting time typing here? Well, I'm not going to, if you ask me how big my feet are, maybe that's prudent. If you ask me what my glasses prescription is, it's not really, I want Sasquatch questions. And these people, my viewers that are here, give me awesome, amazing Sasquatch questions. 78 Sound says, Todd, what do you think about the Mothman? There was multiple sightings in Chicago. That's cool. I don't know anything about the Mothman. You can ask me about, lions in Africa. I'd have more information. So I don't know anything about the Mothman at all. So, Hey, Andy, Todd, are there any reports of displaced Sasquatch due to the wildfires? There will be. I'm not in good contact. Amanda would be better to answer that because she's checking emails and stuff, but nothing quite yet. So what happened to those? There were 2 more people that donated. How come it disappeared? What the hell? That sucks. I was looking forward to going down and thanking them. Like Scott Peeler, thank you very much. Enormously grateful for that donation, Scott. I don't know why YouTube takes money and then they don't let me thank the people. Anyways, all the donation things are disappearing here. That's really, really sucks and terribly ungrateful and disrespectful of YouTube. I'm not doing that, so I was just going to work my way down and thank them. What's the web puzzler? I was superior. Sephisaur says Sasquatch Wizard Adirondacks. Wow, that must have been very exciting, excellent stuff. It was. I love the Adirondacks. Kyle is on here. If you look through Kyle Duche, Kyle's my Adirondack boy. He's the one that got me out there. He's an expeditioner. And so William Mason says, trucker here, the people that hurt the woods all around the West Coast should be put... That's pretty harsh. What do you think of Bobo? Well, I met Bobo, and Bobo was nice to me. He was the only one that was at all reasonable and nice. Like when they came, just as an example, when they came, I said, hey, welcome to Canada. And nobody had said anything to them because they were in Canada and my home, and I said welcome. And the crew kind of gave me dirty looks, and the 3 people gave me dirty looks, and Bobo said thank you. That means something to me. So and I wanted to help them and take care, and I wanted them to have a great show, and we had plans, and I didn't realize they were out to deface me, and they weren't out to really worry about the research. But then recently he says some ridiculous stuff. He's very much people change, and he's very much not a supporter. He says stupid stuff like, I know the black guy in Canada, so my video 3 is fake. I mean, that's just a retarded thing to say. I'll let those actions speak for themselves. It's just retarded, stupid stuff. And I saw the video of him saying that about me. So I've seen some stupidity, and I'm actually not interested in it. What's he doing? That's what my question would be. What's he doing for Sasquatch now? He made a tremendous amount of money being on a TV show. What's he done? How has he bettered the research? And what's he going to be remembered for? What did he do? and you'll have to answer that because I don't know. So I think I'll be one. You know what? I got a funny feel, just a funny little feeling that once we prove Sasquatch is real, people are gonna go, oh, that's just like Todd Standing's footage. Oh, that's just like Todd Standing says. Oh, the tree breaks and the structures and the way they walk and all those things that Todd Standing's talking about and Jeff Meldrum's talking about. That's really what they do. And so, you know, uh, people can always say that about me, that I was, you know, I did know the tree breaks are real, the tree structures are real, the way they move, the tracks, the dermal ridges that have been discovered by other people. So, yeah. Sasquatch Wizard Adirondacks. Yes, I was going to have another video on this soon. That's cool. It's cool. Adirondacks is a hot spot. Lots of great researchers out there. Girly Bigfooter. Should have been called Not Finding Bigfoot. I've heard that before. It still sounds funny. I wish it would have done more for the discovery of the species. That would have made me happy, and I didn't see a lot of that. That's what was ultimately disappointing. This finding Bigfoot was called, I know because I signed a confidentiality agreement, was called a snake oil production. Think about that for a minute. Snake oil production. The people from Finding Bigfoot did that fake mermaid show, that total hoax BS lying mermaid show with actors and fake, that Discovery Channel took a lot of heat for, and rightly so, because that was a fake fraudulent. That was the Discovering Bigfoot people did that, or Finding Bigfoot. Sorry, I'm discovering Bigfoot. Let's get it straight. So, Marianne Adams. Hey, Todd. What are your thoughts on the possibilities of some of the missing, murdered Indigenous women could have been abducted by Sasquatch? I know some legends. Ugh. No. I just, you know what, Marianne? It's a horrible topic because how can I address this not being too much of a jerk? Just there's a lot of bad stuff that happens on reserves. They're pretty lawless, and a lot of the native people are confused, and they have a lot of wildness in them, and they make bad decisions, and lots of indigenous women are murdered and horribly treated and abused in reserves by the native people. So that's a fact, and I wouldn't start blaming Sasquatch. But it's a terrible topic. It's heartbreaking. I know about a girl who I believe it was in the Nordic area. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was around my research area. I know the name of the reserve. I'm not going to say it. This native girl was horribly beaten, raped, had her jaw broken, hip busted, leg busted, and this girl crawled and crawled, and there were bears around her, and mountain lions stalked her, and she made it. And she crawled, I don't know how far, how many, 50 miles, and was eating berries to survive and doing what she could to survive, and she made it. And wow, I don't even like talking about this stuff. It just breaks my heart. Like, how tough was she? And I'll tell you something. The one thing I will tell you is those indigenous women, they're tough women. They're some of the toughest women in the whole world. They're so freaking tough. I've seen the stuff they do, and they're really, really, really tough people, and I really admire them. Well, I have like 1/32 native, and a lot of Canadians and French Canadians have some native blood in them. So, yeah, and I think very highly of their genetics and their abilities and stuff like that. So, that's all I have to say about that. Tough subject that I don't really like talking to. Camilla, Todd, where were the giants discovered in the 1800s in the North American mounds? Oh, I don't know much about that. Yeah, I don't really know much about that. I've been concerned about that stuff. I've seen some of the footage and stuff about it being hoaxed or not. So I kind of it's awesome because I can defer to colleagues and people I respect. One in particular, there was Jeff Meldrum. Some guy said he had a Sasquatch frozen, and he had this frozen hand MIDI things. Jeff actually went and looked, and that's definitively a hoax. It's not real. So it's nice to just I don't have to fly out and do that stuff. There's wonderful men and women out there that can just go and do that research. And there's not many people I trust, but there are people that I trust. There is a select handful that are really devoted. And when Jeff Meldrum says something, I'm just like, yes, yes, sir, Dr. Meldrum. Same thing with Survivor Man. He's amazing. And there's other people that I don't talk about, that I don't publicly speak on, that are amazing like that, and I just trust them. And a lot of them are my expeditioners too. Men and women that have been out there bleeding with me. You can't go through what we go through and not come out with a special kind of bond. It's a bond that you just can't You can't manufacture it. It's life and death stuff, and you learn to trust somebody. You test somebody. I'm testing people's metal, and they are testing mine. And there's no BS out there. It's real. You will show your colors. When I took these last two jerks out there and I whooped their ass through backcountry and took them through a horrible glacier creek, they were smiling and having the time of their life. That is, I tested their metal and they shined like I never would have expected. I'm telling you guys, like, I want to quit. I'm looking up and down this creek. I'm, oh man, this is way too backcountry. This is way too much bush. This is way too hard. And I'm like, we should just quit and give up. That's what I'm thinking. And they had no idea I was even thinking that stuff. I just didn't want to push these men too hard. I felt bad. And they were just happy, and when they did it, they got to the other side. I thought, well, you guys want to give up? And they're like, what? No. We were on a hike, on the brutalest, hardest hike I know, the radium hike up to the mountain. The death hike. You have to be a monster. It's like hiking up a black diamond hill through bush and terrain, and if you slip and you fall, you die. It's over, man. You're sleeping on cliffs. It's brutal. The weather can change. It's harsh. And these men loved it. I tested their metal, and what I found underneath was incredible quality steel, if that makes sense to you. And I know, because iron sharpens iron. And man, these guys are tough. And I just keep getting that. So, or people wash out. I'm not going to lie. People have washed out. You know, guy quit because he was allergic to dust. There was dust all over the place. I don't know what to tell you. So, you know, and people quit for other reasons, and I've had less than 5 people quit, and specific expeditioners of mine, gosh, I must be up around 30 people that I've taken out. So, you know, 5 out of 30 is a very small percentage of people that have washed out. So it's a testament to these amazing men and women that just don't quit. So I've read people who are tipping on acid sauce. Well, yeah, Dave. We don't trust people that are drunk. If someone sits me down, this happens a lot. Someone sits me down and goes, okay. So I was out with my buddies. We had a few, and then we saw this Bigfoot. That really takes that story and just goes to me, right? You were drunk, you were intoxicated, or you were under the influence of some kind of drug. Your story is, I'm sorry, but it has much, much less value. So, yeah, you know, that's what I have to say about that. So I don't really do stories. There's Amanda talking to a link, so if you want to make a donation direct to the research, go to discoveringbigfoot.org or the Patreon. It's the best way to do it, because it really, Patreon and the donation on my website goes directly to me. There's no middleman that takes quite a cut, I'll say. But I'm really grateful for the platform. This is an awesome platform. I really enjoy talking to you guys. And why is YouTube taking off the people that are making donations? It's really not cool. So there's Nora, Girly Bigfoot, LOL. Oh, I'm glad you guys are talking amongst yourself too. I kind of skip stuff a little bit here, and I'll read something and it's a question that we've answered 20 times, and so I just kind of skip through. But you guys talk amongst yourself. It's cool that Amanda and Phil and Kyle and people that have been here a lot, they can answer questions because they watch the show, and I really appreciate it. I see that. I see somebody ask a question, somebody answers it. So that really helps me out. I really appreciate that, guys. Kevin says Todd's place was broken into before he got his dog. That's, you know what? It's true, actually. I got my dog. When she was a puppy, I had a break-in, but she grew up, and then not so much. But I'm not. These are facts. I have video evidence. I have police that came to my house. Jeff Meldrum saw the. What did really suck was I had a sample of DNA that had blood and skin and hair on it. That was stolen. That sucked, because that was pretty awesome. But I'm not complaining. I've had DNA. I have hair. I'll make up for it. I don't have skin samples, but whatever. You don't hear me. Don't think I'm whining about it. I can. You know what? You can steal my footage. You can steal my DNA, my evidence. I'm gonna get more. This is no one-trick pony, right? How many videos do I have? Video 8, 9, 10 are now done. Video 9 and 10, guys, not including what I filmed in California. This is no one-trick pony, and it's gonna get more. There will be a piece of footage that somebody will get that will prove Sasquatch is real. That'll just be like the footage, you know. And if it's not me, somebody will get it, and it can happen. We can do this. So, but yeah, not complaining. I'm not whining. I'm not some little, I can, haha, I'll go get more. Have a good day. So the web puzzler says, as a leader, Todd, you must show them the way. They will turn the corner. The networks are wrapped up in stories, and I'm trying that. What a good piece of advice. And I agree, and I'm very patient with them. And if Discovery Channel wants to buy the next one, they can. I think my distributor's got it though. Yeah, my distributor really has connections through Warner Brothers and Time Warner B movies, so they do a good job. I'm really happy with the distribution because the movie's really out there now. It's on YouTube with commercials on it, so I'm super super happy. Camilla says, Todd, I did this one. Why am I back up here? Let's go down a little bit. The BFRO couldn't find a. I don't want to slag on anybody. Do you know Sasquatch, Ontario? No, I don't have much to do with that, and it sucks. Oh, Girly Bigfooter says, I met Bob Gimlin, talked to him quite a bit. He said anything about Patty being killed? He said anything about Pat. What do you mean he said anything about Patty being killed? He never. Maybe you meant to say he never said anything about Patty being. Isn't Bob Gimlin an amazing guy? That's another hero of mine. What an amazing dude he is. Holy crap. What an honor it was to meet him and to speak with him. I showed him Sasquatch videos. I showed him my Discovering Bigfoot when I only had 40 minutes, but it was mostly just the Sasquatch footage. I showed him that, and he just gave me a hug and shook my hand and just gave me nothing but respect. I can't say enough amazing things about how fortunate are we that we have Bob Gimlin, Jeff Meldrum, that we had John Benernigel, that Survivor Man's doing this. I mean, we're so fortunate that there's great men and women that are gravitating towards this, and thank you to everybody who works on this. It really means a lot to me. Any little bit we can moving forward is amazing. Royal Creation says, do a Q&A about Sasquatch with a group of kids on video. That would be cool. Kids, yeah, that's a good idea actually, Royal Creations, because children just ask you're right, they're so raw with their questions, and it's so, yeah, it's amazing. But you guys are amazing. You guys give amazing questions. I'm never gonna slag on this. I'm so not even. I can't see me ever stopping this show because every time it's just amazing questions. Dalton Robbins says, everyone that thinks Todd is going to see your questions right away, his chat is way behind. Sorry guys. Yeah, I'm trying to be thorough. Todd, they gave me a feather. Oh, really? The web puzzler. They gave you a feather. You know what? It would be so hard. It's a good thing. It's a very good thing. It's a wonderful gift. Just take it. You know what? It's up to you to interpret what that means. How can I tell you? You need to know, what does it mean to you? Feel it. Think about it. Put it by your bed. Sleep with the thing by your bed. Sleep with it in your hand. Put it in a necklace. Show the reverence. If you know a Sasquatch gave you a feather, I have an acorn, just a silly little acorn. It's mutated and weird, and a Sasquatch gave that to me. I know it. He took the gifts, and he took the berries, and he gave me this, just a regular spruce acorn, and I hold it sometimes, and I feel, what does it mean to me? It means so much. It's very special, and it does the feeling I can't verbally articulate, right? And that's the most important thing. So what it means to you is what matters. You know, literally, right? If you took the feather and go, stupid Sasquatch, and throw it away, that's what it means. But appreciate it and show the Sasquatch that you appreciate it. If you maybe it's more about what you do and how you appreciate it that means more than anything. Put it on a necklace. Put it in your hat or something. Do something cool like that. Can you imagine how the Sasquatch, imagine this. So a Sasquatch gives you the feather, and he watches you take it, and he goes, he took my feather, and what a wonderful way to start building a bond and a relationship. And you go back there with that feather in your hat or the feather in the necklace or something, and the Sasquatch is going to go, look, he took my feather. That's my feather I gave him. That is how you build a relationship. That is what you do. That's what matters, is how you perceive it and what you do with it. That is the most important thing. So go appreciate that. What a wonderful gift. If you ever get a gift from a Sasquatch, man, appreciate it, love it, adore it. It's for you. It's not for me to make that decision. It's for you, and it matters. It was for you. Make it about you. Don't, maybe take my advice or not. It doesn't, if what I say inspires you, awesome. But yeah, that's wonderful. Congratulations. Isn't that cool? So that happened to me too with the feathers. So very, very amazing stuff. So, hey Todd, what are your thoughts on the relationship between Big Brother and Native Americans? Uh, my thoughts are that the Native Americans and the First Nations people were taught by Sasquatch. They learned from Sasquatch. Uh, their spiritual understandings, their hunting, their tracking, they've learned from Sasquatch. They've had a wonderful teacher-student relationship. As great, I have nothing but respect for the tracking and the abilities of the Native Americans and First Nations people here in Canada. But it's very clear to me that the Sasquatch taught them and are teachers of them. So their relationship was very close and very respectful, very reverent. That's why when you say squatching and stuff like that, the natives get upset because their relationship is very spiritual. It's very respectful. And when you say squatching or squatch, it's not respectful, guys. It's not to them. And I've seen it on their faces where it's like, you don't say Jeebus. You don't say that to people that you're not supposed to say Jesus Christ. That's disrespectful to people that are religious and are Christians, right? So, and there's no difference with the Sasquatch. They have that much. The Sasquatch and the native people have a reverence for them, and it's immense respect, and I really appreciate that. So that's what they've taught me, and it's a very powerful lesson. Hi Todd, I loved your documentary. Curious about one thing. I recently read the book Sasquatch: The Truth Denied. 3 genomes documented. Do you believe human hybrids or ape family? Do you believe human? Well, no. The DNA just shows they're a hominid species. So, if as much as we are great apes. We're in the great ape category. It's a subcategory we're in, but you take us out of that when we're hominids, right? That's another category, and we're a different species. We can't breed with gorillas, chimpanzees. Chimpanzees are our closest living relatives. We can't breed with them and produce viable offspring. The Sasquatch can do that with us. So we could probably do that with Homo floresiensis, the hobbit hominid. We could probably do that with Neanderthal, and we can do that with Sasquatch. So that's the fact. Yeah. Damn, Todd, I was late to the show tonight. Yeah, that sucks, Roger, but you can always rewatch it in a little bit. So, Bob Giblin won't tell the truth about Patty. Ooh, Sherwin, don't be slagging Bob Gimlin, because that is a wonderful, wonderful man. He is telling the truth, and I admire and respect him deeply. Andy says, Todd, you can only pick one. Which name best describes Sasquatch for creature, cryptid, animal, primate, hominid, human, hybrid? I would say hominid is my favorite. A people is also, I like forest people. They're people. They're a society. So yeah, hominid's my favorite. A very advanced hominid. What man, you put some work into that, Andy. What a good question. So, we're animals, we're apes, we're primates, we're human. I wouldn't call them human just because I have more respect for them than a lot of people. What an awful thing to say. I'm sorry. I do love humanity. It's crazy right now. I mean, it's crazy, right? I put on my mask today to go buy equipment for my expedition, and I had it on for like an hour, and I was getting dizzy, and I'm thinking, what the hell? Like I'm feeling carbon poisoning from my own breathing, my own breath for so long, and I think we're doing that to children. It's just crazy, man. I had a headache, an hour and a half, and these people that have to wear these masks all day, I think it's probably going to end up doing more damage than good. But I don't know. I'm no expert, so I don't want to be quoted. Someone keeps asking me, do I know Sasquatch Ontario? No, I do not know them. Or maybe, Royal Creation, Sasquatch, don't beam up. I agree. Patty had mammaries. Yes, Patty was definitely a female, and I've seen female Sasquatch. Have you been back recording where the log was thrown at you? Yeah, lots. They don't throw logs at me. You have to understand, I'd really upset them that day. That was a Video 4 expedition. And I tricked them, and I was playing little cat and mouse stuff with them, and it worked. I got the footage, but it ticked them off, and I wasn't welcome there that day. But since then, I think I've earned my stripes. I have earned my stripes, and now I go back there, and they're nice to me now. I'm not really sneaking around and being a jerk much. So it's changed my research. So yeah, Amanda says Casey Sheffer, he doesn't know him. Dr. Benonigo was not impressed with his interpretations. Amanda knows. Why do Sasquatch in your photos look like different species? Well, it just I've talked about this quite a bit, and they're just definitively not. You have to understand the facial, even one's a female, one's a male, their bodies, their heads. Like people kind of tend to judge based on this little bit right here, and the heads are the same, the shoulders are the same, the bodies are the same, they move the same, the feet are the same, they walk the same. So that's why I say same species. But when you're looking at Jake, he's a very strong, fit male with full facial hair, like a beard. When you're looking at Jane, video 4, she's a female. She has breasts and she has less facial hair. Her features are softer, but still her nose is the same. You look at her nose. Her eye spacing is the same. The cheekbones are the same. And the figure is, I know she's smaller, but she's got that physique just like Jake does. And then Kubota's a weird looking mutant. He's got long arms. He walks like kind of like orcish, and he's quite angry. He's not nearly as big as the regular. Like he's definitely smaller, lankier, and he's like he doesn't have a hunchback, but he has that walk and that weirdness and that long arms, and he looks. But again, he just looks like a longer armed, thinner, older Sasquatch with male pattern balding, and. But he's still clearly a Sasquatch to me. So I'm very good at judging character. He was a pretty straight shooter. I think that's Girly Bigfooters talking about Bob Gimlin. I was not. You should understand too that, of course, I never met Roger Patterson, and I was very strongly. I think the time I met Bob Gimlin, I already knew the footage was real because I'd seen the tracks that Jeff Meldrum has, and the tracks show that it's real. And I've seen a lot of other evidence, but I wasn't so sure about Bob Gimlin. And then Bob Gimlin showed up, straight shooter. Bob Gimlin is a little beast. He's a wonderfully moral man, and he's got lots of backbone. He's got spine, like he's a tough dude. And I like people like that. I guess he tells it like it is. That would make him a straight shooter, you know? I feel like he's just very honest, and I don't know. I had such a good experience with him. There's a photo of Todd Standing, Jeff Meldrum, John Betternagel, and Bob Gimlin right after they'd watched my 40 minutes of my Sasquatch footage that nobody had seen at that time. And what an honor it is to have those great men in a photograph with me. I'm so honored. So wonderful stuff. The Web Puzzler. Okay, anyways, I'm going to skip down here a little bit. See if I'm going to do a few more minutes of the show here because I just wanted to do an hour a day. I got tons of people to call and stuff to do. I actually live very close to Todd, like driving distance. Well, hello, Mr. Sin. That's interesting. So, Mr. Sin, could you please not say exactly where I live? Because I would appreciate that. I believe you, though. You don't have to prove anything to me. What about the scream at you? Oh, okay, Michael. So, yeah, there've been some screams at me. What's your question, though? Is it was the scream bad, or was everything is different? But okay. So this is the last question of the day. Let me just check down here. Tons and tons of questions I didn't get to, but that question was good. Oh, now what's going on here? Now I forgot what the darn question was. Looking at all these things here. Man, it was a good question too. What the heck was it? Hey, there's Darren. I heard many people have lots of contact or surprise them by creek beds or river beds. I don't know, Darren. I don't know. I think a lot of times I'm very skeptical about people when that's the time you're going to get a look at them, but they're so advanced. I don't drink in a spot that's not safe. I won't put my head down when there's potential for mountain lions around because I'll end up dead. You know, I'm very cautious, and I'm no Sasquatch. Darren here is coming out with me on an expedition. He's next on my hit list, and boy, that Darren looks like he's a tough dude. So I'm very interested. Darren, I got some bad news for you, dude. You are a tough man, and we're gonna test each other's mettle. And you know what Darren would say? He'd say, "Bring it." So that's cool. So we're gonna go push some limits and have some fun. Getting a run in the woods attack. Do you think that maybe it happened because I got? Okay, I got to read this. William Old School Ardette. Getting out of the woods without attack. Do you think that maybe it happened because I had my? I don't know what the whole story is, William, but grandson. There's a lot of the old Ruby Creek incident where a woman saw a Sasquatch and she put a blanket over the children. There is. So let's talk about this. This is going to be my last little thing. So Ruby Creek taught me something, and I had a couple other incidents where the elders would say, put a blanket over your children and move them away from the Sasquatch, because when they're coming around and they're acting strange, sometimes they'll grab a child. You know what I think happens? And this is my theory. They are a devoted species. They love their babies just like we do, just like you and me. And gorillas do this. They'll hang on to babies until they've long passed and they start rotting away, and mothers just won't give it up because they love their children. What if a Sasquatch baby takes off, disappears, falls off a cliff, isn't found anymore, dies, and a mother gets so distraught that she goes and replaces the baby with a human baby? There's more to it than that. I've heard about this stuff happening. I believe that's why in some cultures, in some native cultures, and this is like in Harrison, you could read about the Ruby Creek incident. That's what the native woman, there was a Sasquatch in the back and he was like tearing and he's eating the fish or something in a barrel. And that woman did what her elders told her to cover up with a blanket. And so I think, you know what though? I think that's going to be extremely rare. I think it will happen very, very rarely. But it's happened, and we love our children so much, like they love our children, that it's one thing that we would teach to do to make sure if it is a 1 in 10,000 chance that a Sasquatch will take your child, you don't want to take that chance. So do what you can to avoid that. And I think that's how that little system all came up. So I'd like to thank all the awesome people that donated today. I'm sorry that YouTube took your donation number down. That's very not cool. But you know who you are, and I'm really, really grateful for those donations. Thank you so much, guys. I am doing expeditions, so there may be I'm not talking about dates and stuff, but there may be a time where something else pops up instead of a live show, and I'll make sure that there is something. If I leave and go on an expedition like I did last week, okay, well there you go. I was on expedition last week. Secret's out. I put up a show that popped up on Wednesday, right? So I'll make sure you guys have something on Wednesday, because I'm so grateful that you guys tune in for that. And it was a cool podcast that I did from a guy that I met on Instagram. I'm a big MMA fan. I've been studying jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai kickboxing since I was little, so I'm a huge MMA fan. I was around for the first UFC, and the guy called me and said, I do mostly UFC stuff, but can we do some Bigfoot? And I go, I could tie Bigfoot into UFC, and I did. So wilderness and wildlife and Sasquatch and UFC, yeah, I can tie that stuff together, and I did really well because it's something I'm very passionate about. So thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are amazing. Wow, you guys are amazing. Fantastic, amazing questions. If you didn't get your question answered today, try it back next week. Be tenacious. Don't give up. And yeah, that's fantastic, guys. I really appreciate you coming on. What would this show look? We're up to 220 live viewers right now. That is amazing. You guys are awesome. I will always continue to do this show. I really, really love it. Yeah, there's Facebook. I usually do today. I didn't do the Facebook thing, so I apologize. Normally I post on Facebook and go through some questions there. And watch my previous shows. There's some good information there. If you love these shows, just pick a show. There's no real duplication. These shows are very original. Oh, here we go. SSN Martin, thank you for your donation. Marianne Adams, thank you very much. $27.99. Look at that. You guys are awesome. I had 4 donations today. That is fantastic. I hope you all, Amanda, if these people, if they send us an email, make sure you forward that to me, and then we'll make sure we get some, give them some special downloads and stuff. No, I don't have a book yet. I would love to have a book. It's just the movies are kind of more of my thing, but the book deal is just we'll work that out. There'll be a book. I promise. As long as there's life in this body, I will. Once I wear out this body and I can't take it anymore and I have to become a wise old man, I'll be doing a lot of writing. I'll be doing a lot of seminars about life and humanity and the greatness of this planet because I absolutely adore it. And I will have a lot to write and I'll have a lot to say. So for now, though, I'm extremely fit. I can just handle stuff. I'm doing so well with my training. My fitness level is very, very impressive. And I need to work this body while I can because I won't be. I know I'll wear it out eventually. I've put my body through a lot. So for now, more important than a book, we need boots on the ground. We need to get this discovery finished and done. And that's that's the best thing I can do for this discovery. So believe me, I train hard, I eat well, I exercise. I hope you all eat well, get good exercise, take good care of yourselves. Thank you so much for tuning in.